let's talk about my 2024 winter crochet plans and a few finished projects. Rochelle here, and I'm back to share some yarn goodness with you all today. Okay, so let's jump right into my winter plans for this cold weather season, and it's all going to be about the crochet today. Okay, so the first project that I have in mind is the Loomis Skinny Scarf, and it is designed by Louise Balanos. Hope I got that right. So this project it's free on her blog, or you can buy the paid PDF version. And so if you want to access the free version, you just go to the Ravelry page, which I will link below. And then when you scroll all the way down to the bottom, you'll see like her website link. You click on that and it'll open it up. But if you just do a first glance at Ravelry, it might seem like it's only paid, but if you scroll down to the blog, you open it up, and then you'll see the free version as well. So that'll be your choice. All right, so a little bit about this project, or pattern rather. It calls for worsted weight yarn. Of course, you can use whatever size weight that you want to use, but it does call for worsted weight yarn. And so in terms of the sizes, it is in one size. And I do have the finished dimensions. So the length from the longest point to the longest point is 56 inches, which is 142 centimeters. And I'm assuming that's pre-blocked because we all have different styles of blocking, whether it be wet blocking, steam blocking, whatever. Of course, that's going to change our final measurements, but the pre-block is 56 inches or 142 centimeters. And then the length from the top to the bottom at the widest point is 12 inches or 30 centimeters. And like I said before, those measurements are going to vary not only by your blocking style, but also by your yarn choice, your tension. We all have different tension. Some of us are loose crocheters, some of us are tighter crocheters. So, that's all going to play into that. So, in terms of the hook size that it calls for, it is an H hook, which is a number 8, and that's a 5mm crochet hook. And my neighbors have decided, hey, they're off work, so let's just run up and down the road. Anywho, okay, so the yarn that I'm going to use for this project is this gorgeous purple yarn. It is Knit Pick Swish, which is a worsted weight yarn, and the colorway is Amethyst Heather, and each ball is 110 yards or 50 grams. And this is a number 4 weight yarn, and it is 100% fawn superwash merino wool. So it's going to keep us nice and toasty. And as I mentioned, this comes from Knit Picks, but also it comes from We Crochet. So, perhaps you might want to check out We Crochet. They sell this yarn as well. I never will, for the life of me, understand why there's Knit Picks and We Crochet. One's a crochet company, one's a knitting company, but they both sell the same yarn. I mean, it's the same company. I have no idea. I'm just further confusing myself. But anyway, regardless of which one you prefer to shop at, there's Knit Picks and there's also We Crochet. Okay. Yeah, so that's all about this yarn. I have used this yarn before. And yeah, I like it. It does pill a little bit. So, that's something to keep in mind. But yeah, other than that, it's really soft, really, really nice yarn. I like it. Okay, so this project is really, really good for like a last minute gift. You wake up and you realize, oh snap, I hadn't made a gift. You can whip this thing up in like a day if you're really dedicated. Also, it would make like a great weekend project, or maybe you finished like a big project and you want a smaller project just to kind of chill. This will be a great project. And yeah, and I love a good tiny scarf, especially with the points on the end, and then it's kind of like pointy in the middle as well. I really like that design. And so another great thing about this pattern is that it does come with a video tutorial. So if you're someone that does not know how to read patterns, a video tutorial would be super, super helpful. And this has that. So I really like having that option. Okay, so let's talk about our next project. Now this one I've already started on. So it is the Cumberland Tank, which is designed by Alexandra Tavel of Two of Wands. Now this is this pattern rather, it's free on her blog, but you do have the option of purchasing a PDF that's ad-free. So just putting that out there. And it calls for worsted weight yarn. So the bust circumference for this pattern ranges between 35 to 63 inches. And in centimeters, that is 89 to 160 centimeters. And in terms of ease, it has between 5 to 7 inches of positive ease. And that is 13 to 18 centimeters of positive ease. So in terms of the hook size, the pattern calls for a 6 millimeter, which is a J hook, and a 5.5 millimeter, which is an I hook. But I may have mentioned, but I have made this tank before, and so I know that I use a different hook size. So I am going to be using a 4.0 millimeter, which is a G hook, and a 5 millimeter, which is an H hook. And so this yarn has about the same thickness of the yarn I used before. I can't remember what it was, but it was like one of the thicker, it may have been like a Joann's Big Twist or something like that. Even though that is a worsted weight yarn, it's a thicker worsted weight yarn. And I feel like this yarn here is going to work because it is an Aran weight yarn. And so even though it's an Aran weight yarn, it's slightly bigger. I don't know. Well, I could do a gauge swatch, but I've kind of already started on it. I don't think it'll make too much of a difference. I am a loose crocheter, and that's another reason why I go down a hook size. Because when I originally made my first Cumberland Tank, I used an I hook. I used everything that it recommended, and it was huge. I am not a medium-sized girl, okay? But for this pattern, I had to go down to a medium. So that's why I feel really comfortable with using the G and the H hook instead of the I and the J hook. But anyway, we shall see. So, yeah, because with my last Cumberland Tank, I had gotten pretty far, and then I was like, this is way too big, and so I just, ripped it out and started over. But I really, really like this tank. I wear it as a vest. I love to wear it over long sleeve shirts, dresses. I really like it. And so I'm going to leave my video for my Cumberland Tank, and also I'll leave my Ravelry page below as well, so you can check out my first Cumberland Tank. So anyway, the yarn. I am going to be using Drops Alaska, and this is wool yarn. This is 100% non-superwash, non-treated wool. And so each ball is 50 grams or 1.8 ounces, and that's 70 meters or 77 yards. And so yeah. Now this yarn, it's not scratchy, but it's not soft either. It is a non-treated or untreated wool yarn. I'm excited to use this. Drops comes from a place called Wool Warehouse. It's a company based in the UK, and the shipping is really good. And they're always, having new yarn come out. And so if you've never shopped at Wool Warehouse, definitely check this yarn out. But this is colorway number 11, and I believe it is dark red. Yes, this is dark red, and it's a really nice wool. I love crocheting with wool yarn. I think it feels amazing, and I love the process of crocheting, and I especially love the process of crocheting with wool yarn. I think it's really fun, and yeah, love it. Okay, of course, y'all can use what you want. You know how I am. We use all sorts of yarn on this channel, okay? all sorts of yarn. All right. Okay, so let's see. I talked about this. Let's talk about what I'm wearing. Yes, because I do have some finished projects to share with y'all. But oh, I'm jumping ahead of myself. Y'all. I'm just excited. I said that I had started on this. Let's see. I've got I got my H hook, got my G hook, I've got my yarn, and y'all, this is how much I've done so far. Let's see. Okay, I am in the middle of a row. I don't think I marked that off. But yeah, this is how much I've done so far. Basically, I've done the chain and I've started on the first row. And this project mainly consists of single crochets and half double crochets, which I love. I love a good half double crochet. And so I'm excited about this. And I'm really excited to see like the difference in wear between my first tank, which was made with 100% acrylic yarn, and this one is 100% wool. And I hope that this really works out, because my first Cumberland tank that I made with the 100% acrylic, I love it. I wear it all the time, and it's orange. So I'm always trying to like get creative and pair it with different things. And so I hope that I like this tank as much as I like my first tank. But yeah, so anyway, now we can move on. So let's put y'all over here. And yes, I did make this project bag. My sewing machine is a little under the weather. So when I get my sewing machine repaired, or if I get a new one, I will definitely want to make some more project bags. But I really like this one. It's got a zipper. It is lined, and it has, what's that stuff called? Interfacing. It has interfacing, and then a nice little handle here. And a boxed bottom, which sometimes I get the bottom right and the corners right, and sometimes I don't. It's a work in progress. Okay, let's see. Let's make room here. All right, so what I am wearing. This is the Quartz pullover that is designed by Alexandra Tavel of Two of Wands. I really like her as a crochet designer. And she might have some knitting projects or knitting patterns. I'm not sure. I just know that when she does crochet, she's amazing. I really like her crochet patterns, and they fit me really well also. Just really well written patterns. But anyway, you may notice that this pullover, or I guess you could call it a pullover, tank. Yeah, she calls it a pullover. It looks different because this is a V-neck pullover, but I just simply turned it around, and I'm wearing the back for the front. I'm wearing the back for the front. So I changed it from a V-neck to a crew neck, and I love it. I've never worn it like this, but I was trying to I was getting dressed, and I was like, okay, let's be creative here, and let's try this. And so I literally made this decision to change it right before I made the video. Yeah, I hope it looks good. But it has these lovely bat wings that I really like. And I will leave, like I mentioned before, I'll leave all the links, all that stuff below if you want to check this out and if you want to make one on your own. So let's talk about my finished projects. I'm excited to share these with you all. I've just kind of been in an accessory mood, and you may remember, let's see, I've been doing monthly roundup of crochet patterns that I find, and I made one, I believe it was either for October or November, and one of the patterns that I found for the crochet roundup was the simple shoulder bag designed by Viv Crochets. And the moment I saw that bag, I was like, look, I have to make this bag. I need this bag. And so that's what I did. And so this pattern, it's free on her blog, or you can purchase the ad-free PDF. That's totally up to you. But it is made with Aran weight yarn. I use worsted weight yarn, and it comes in one size. And the dimensions for the purse is 9.4 inches wide, 12.2 inches tall, and that is including with the straps. And in terms of centimeters, that is 24 by 31 centimeters. Now, of course, if you decide not to add the straps and maybe you do like your own straps, maybe like a faux leather strap or a rope strap, or, you know, whatever you decide to do, of course, your dimensions are going to be different. But if you follow the pattern with the strap, it is going to be 12.2 inches tall or 31 centimeters. So this yarn that I used, well, this is all that I have left, but it is Karen Simple Soft Party, and it is in the colorway Teal Sparkle. And this is 100% acrylic yarn, and it is gorgeous. The sparkles are amazing. And so this yarn might look familiar to you all because I did use it for my ruffle cardigan, and I'll show you all a little clip of that later with it all together. And so love it. Now, I used a 4.0 millimeter G hook, but the pattern calls for a 5 millimeter H hook. And even when I read through the pattern before I started on it, and the designer was mentioning how she wished that her fabric had been a little bit denser and that she actually would have went down to a G hook as well. So I just went ahead and went down to a G hook, and I really like it that way. And so yeah, that's what we're working with so far. Let's see. Oh, I dropped something. Okay, here it is. I was like, I'm missing something. But anyway, I did block this. And so I steam blocked it and I let it air dry. Now, the great thing about acrylic is that it's really easy to block. Now, I could have just put it in the dryer, but I wanted to steam it just to see if it would soften. And this yarn is incredibly soft anyway, but I wanted it to have a nice drape on it. And so I steam blocked it and I let it air dry, and yeah, that was a lot of fun. And so really easy process to steam it. Of course, like I said, since it is acrylic, you can simply just wet block it or spray block it and throw it in the dryer. This project total, it took 81 grams or 2.9 ounces of worsted weight yarn. And it's a really good one-day project. Once again, if you want to give somebody a gift and you only have a day to make it, this project would be wonderful, and it's so cute. I mentioned before that I had made this to match some of my other garments that I had, and I haven't worn this out yet because I want to line this bag, but I have no idea how to line a bag, y'all. So if you all have any suggestions, let me know. How do you line a bag? Because I use an H hook, the fabric is pretty dense. I would not say that it's necessarily, it's a little see-through, but it's not bad. And I don't think anything that I have would fall out. But I do want to try lining the bottom portion of the bag. So if you have any tips, let me know. I would really appreciate it because I've never lined a bag before, ever. Of course, I had to accessorize because I did have some yarn left over. For the life of me, I cannot get rid of all this yarn. I got a really good deal on this yarn. I bought it from Pop Shelf, and I don't even think our Pop Shelf sells yarn anymore. Let me know if yours does, but they were selling the Simply Soft for I think it was $3 a ball, and I bought every single one they had. So I still have this much yarn left over, but I did accessorize it with this beautiful flower, and this is called the Wagon Wheel Crochet Flower. And this flower is 3-dimensional. I hope that you all can tell that. Let me set it up a little bit. But it is, yeah, you all can see that. It is 3-dimensional. Love that. And I do have the ties in the back because this will make it easier for me to tie it on to the bag. But let's talk about the pattern. So it calls for worsted weight yarn. And of course I use the same party yarn. I use the same yarn, and the finished size is 3.5 inches in diameter. And so I used a 5mm crochet hook, which is an H hook, and I didn't block it. You know, I like the size that it is. It's just, you know, I like this. And it only took 12 grams. Like, that's amazing. It only took 12 grams to crochet this little flower. And in centimeters, that is, why do I keep converting the same thing? 12 grams is 0.4 ounces of worsted weight yarn. Yeah, you would think I'd be able to convert measurements, but yeah, still working on that. But anyway, it uses a very, very, very small amount of yarn. And I imagine if you want to, you could just keep going with this flower and make it huge. But this is what I did, and I plan to either wear this in my hair, like using, I have some bobby pins here, and so I'll either like just pin it in my hair. Let's see, how do I want to do this? But basically, I don't know what side. Kind of like, let's see, kind of like something like this, perhaps, you know. That would be cute. But also I thought about putting it on my, uh-oh, don't get caught now. I thought about just putting it on the bag as well and using either a safety pin or bobby pins. I like the bobby pins. They're really simple. But basically, I'll just be putting it on the bag. And what I really like about this flower is, okay, I don't know if you can see it, but on this bag, on one side of the bag, there is a seam here. It's kind of a diagonal seam. It's very subtle, but it is there. And what I like is I can take this flower and put over it, and you know, it just kind of covers the seam a little bit. But to be honest with y'all, the seam does not bother me at all. It's totally fine. But yeah, I really like it. And what I love is I love how the entire outfit comes together. I hope you enjoyed my ensemble. I really enjoyed making it. It was such a treat. But I did want to share some upcoming videos with you all. So I have my Everything I Crocheted in 2024 video, and I also have my Everything I Knitted in 2024 as well. And those will be coming out probably the first part of January. In addition to that, I have my crochet roundup for the month of December. And so that might come out this month, or it might come out the early part of January. I'm not sure which video, but one of those videos, I think I'm probably gonna end up putting out at least one more video this year. And so most likely it'll be the crochet roundup. And yeah, I know you all really enjoy those, and I really enjoy making them. So thank you all so much for your support. And let me know in the comments if you have made any of the projects that I talked about today. Let me know your experience with it, and let me know if you want to make any of the projects that I talked about today, or patterns rather. And yeah, also, y'all, I'm really, really close to 10,000 subscribers, and I don't think I'm going to make it by the end of the year, but I just appreciate y'all's support so much. And if you have already subscribed, thank you. Share with a friend, share with your family, whoever's interested in knitting, crocheting, and just crafts and yarn in general. And if you have not subscribed, please consider subscribing. I would love to have you here. So yay, I'm almost there. And also next year, we'll make 10 years of being on YouTube. August of 2025, we'll make 10 years of being on YouTube. So yay, I'm just, yeah, really excited and grateful. Okay, so let me know what you worked on while watching, or did you just chill, Both of those are really fun. And definitely leave me a comment. I love reading you all's comments. And I think I'm caught up on the comments, but I'll check after this video. And thank you so much for clicking that like button and that notification bell. And thank you for responding to my questions and comments in the YouTube community tab, because I ask a lot of fun questions over there and I love getting you all's responses. Also, if you would like to become a member of this channel and enjoy additional perks such as extra bonus videos, definitely click that join button below. So, thank you all so much for watching, and until next time, bye!